Hello, welcome back to another video. I'm Sabrina, and in this week's video, I'm going to be reading books outside of my comfort zone. Basically, I was looking at my Goodreads. Also, I'm not wearing glasses, so I cannot see you, but it's irrelevant that I have a sight. Looking at my Goodreads, I was looking at new books to read. I was looking at what I should be doing with my life, basically. And then I realized I literally have not read outside of the genre of fantasy, romance, and literary fiction in like probably 2 years. I haven't read outside of my comfort zone for ages. So what I want to do is broaden my horizons. And I'm gonna do that by reading 3 books that are outside of my regular genres. I want to read 1 nonfiction, I want to read a classic, and I want to read a mystery thriller. Those are the 3 genres that I want to venture into. I think there's a high potential that I'll really enjoy mystery thriller because I love watching true crime YouTubers. So why would I not enjoy reading crime novels? Maybe not true crime novels, but just crime novels in general. I think there's a very high chance I will really enjoy them. And honestly, I don't really know why I haven't read one before. So I have not fully decided which books I'm gonna read. I have decided for 2 of the genres, but I have not decided for one of them. Here's what I'm gonna be doing. For my nonfiction, I'm gonna be reading a memoir. And I've already decided, and I've already started reading it, to be honest. The nonfiction that I'm reading is gonna be Strong Female Character by Fern Brady. I'm really interested in the content of the book, so I thought, why not read that as my nonfiction? And actually, I've already started reading it. I'm about halfway through and it's very good. So then for my mystery thriller, I'm gonna read House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I'm so excited for that book. The only thing is I'm low-key scared that I'm actually gonna be afraid. Like I said, I watch true crime and I have to be careful like when I watch it. If I'm home alone, not watching it. If it's late at night, not watching it. If it's realistic to anything that could occur to me, I'm not watching it. Super easily freaked out at the fact that like this could happen to me. I'm worried that reading this book is gonna like make me scared. It's not horror, it's just mystery thriller. Like it shouldn't be that bad, right? We'll see about that. Normally I read at night. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read that one at night. Maybe I'll have to read 2 books. We shall see. And then for my classic, I've yet to decide, but I have a couple things in my head that I'm just gonna like think about while I read the other 2, because basically I want to pick a classic that like yes is a classic, but also that there's a chance I'm gonna like. Because like if I sit down and I start reading Crime and Punishment, well yeah, obviously probably will not enjoy it. Not a good introductory book. It doesn't have any topics I enjoy, so why would I like it? I won't. So I'm thinking either Alice in Wonderland, because I love the movie, I love the aesthetic, so maybe I'll like the book. Then I was thinking maybe The Hobbit, because I do really like fantasy, so maybe a classic fantasy, but then I don't know if that's like a cop-out, because then technically it's still my genre. I was also thinking Jane Eyre, just because I think I would like it from what I've heard other people say, but at the same time, I don't know. I think I might be, I don't know. We'll see. I'll give it a shot. We'll try. So yeah, that's it basically. I'm gonna start reading the books. I'm gonna start telling you my opinions. I'll make this a 3-part thingy and then I'll give you my final reviews at the end. And let's get started. Like any of these times, like if I haven't met him. I've been reading, what's it called? Strong Female Character by Fern Brady, and so far it is so good. Here's the thing with this video, right? I'm really enjoying reading this book and I have a good time, which is how I objectively rate my books. I decide that I'm gonna give something 5 stars because I love it, not necessarily because it's the most technically excellent writing. Besides that though, I think this is a great memoir. However, is it? I don't know. I have no comparison to draw. So like right now, I think this is a fabulous memoir and it is really good. It's very entertaining. It's really, I think, well written. It's fast paced. It's super easy to keep up with. It's very engaging. It's really interesting. It's intriguing, which I think are all very good qualities of a memoir. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I'm about 75% of the way through. I think the first 50% for me was my favorite because it was her explaining her time in high school and as a teenager, and obviously I am still a teenager. I'm not in high school anymore. I think I like that better just because it's a part of life I've already experienced. It's much easier to relate. It's making me realize that my life is exceptionally boring, but maybe in a good way, because half of this stuff must have been so traumatic, which makes for a great memoir. But yeah, that's that. I'm gonna continue reading. Like so far, if it continues going the way it's going, this might be a new favorite because I really, really am enjoying it. The way she writes has such an incredible fast flow. She somehow manages to jump from story to story to story, but in a way that's so organized and well thought out, and everything links back to the first chapter that we read. The statements she made in that first chapter that were like to catch you and to hook you are now being explored in these other chapters, and I think it's really, really well done. It's not confusing, the timeline is clear even though she's jumping between things. Let's see how I feel when it's finished. Okay, so last night I finished Strong Female Character by Fern Brady, and honestly, fantastic. So good. Yeah, it was a really good book. I'm gonna give you my final thoughts at the very end of the video all at once, but just know that this one did not disappoint, and maybe I should read more memoirs. I think it was just the right amount of vulnerability from her, that you felt connected, but not like this is a trauma dump, like that type of situation. I quite enjoyed myself. So now that that one has been finished, I'm gonna read The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I'm kind of freaking nervous. Like, low-key, I'm really nervous. Also, look at the cover. It has, I think you can see if I kind of move it. It has like water splotches that are like shiny on the front. I just think that's cool. So yeah, I'm gonna start reading this one now, and I'll update you when I'm about halfway through. What in the ever-loving flippity flap is this? What? I've literally read like 6 pages. Mystery thriller is something I'm not ready for, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not ready for this. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, no, the back does not say what happened in the first 6 pages, so I will not say what just happened because it is a spoiler. But what? Wow. I can't wait to read this. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. No, because it's the way that this book is like absolutely insane. Like, what is happening right now? This is nuts. Laying here on the couch and reading. It's getting dark outside and I'm getting like genuinely kind of freaked out. I'm like, am I about to get murdered? I can stop reading and read another book, but at the same time, I want to know what happens so bad. So do I just deal with my discomfort and know what happens? Or do I put myself at ease and have no idea what happens? I'm not quite halfway through. I'm at like 144. I think I might have unlocked my mystery thriller girl era because I'm invested. Like, I'm so invested and I'm so enjoying it, and I'm actually getting the creeps a little bit, and I want to know what happened so bad. I don't know, I'm not surprised. I thought I might. I'm just shocked that I haven't done this before. Like, I should have. Thoroughly enjoying this. I'm gonna keep reading. I literally don't want to stop. It's been lovely. I've been really enjoying this book. The last time that I updated you about this book, I was about halfway through, and I was super excited. I thought it was very good. I've just finished it. That was the most bullshit book I've ever read in my life. Like, literally, that was so stupid. After the halfway point, it went downhill like that. For the non-spoilery bit, I just think that the way this was done, I never could have seen that coming because it's ridiculous. Like, I think what makes a book good is when the final plot twist happens and you're like shocked, but at the same time you're like, oh my god, I see what they did there. Like, the author did that and that. This book literally was pulling plot twists out of thin air. That was absolutely ridiculous. Now for the spoilery section, skip to this if you don't want to hear it. Paranormal paranormal. The main character was unreliable, which is great, but at the same time, she was unreliable to an extent that it's like, what was the point of the book? Like, you were blatantly just lying to me throughout the whole book to an extent that, like, I could not have come up with the solution myself that she was unreliable. She was always drunk, so I could come up with she was an unreliable narrator about what's happening, but how am I supposed to know that she's lying to me? I don't know how I was meant to figure that out, and I don't think it's a good reveal because I could not have figured that out by myself. And then second of all, the paranormal thing that the lake is possessed. She killed her husband in it, so he came back to life in a different person because the lake is haunted and stuff. Well, if you're gonna do that, you can do whatever you want. If you're gonna start introducing paranormal, you can literally do whatever you want. He could have done anything and just been like, yeah, well, paranormal, it's a ghost. And it's like, but that's not, no. Like, no, if you're gonna do that, you have to make a good magic system or whatever, like a good paranormal system, so there's rules to it. How was I supposed to guess? There's nothing on the back about anything to do with anything paranormal. How was I supposed to guess that the killer was actually a demon who has been living in a lake who is possessing people's bodies? Honestly, this was so disappointing. I was so ready for the most shocking, amazing reveals, and then halfway through, I was like, this is what we're gonna do? And then, like, right up until the last page, I was like, maybe, just maybe, he'll still pull something out the bag. He'll be like, actually, she's delusional and she all made this up, or it's a dream, or something like that. But no, this is what they're going with. They're going with a man has died in a lake and is possessing people. So that's wonderful. I'll give you my final rating at the end, but thoroughly disappointed. Oh, besides though, I am thoroughly disappointed, but I do want to read more thrillers because this had so much potential, and I want to find one that lives up to it, that doesn't stupidly finish the plot in the most stupid, ridiculous, unexpected, dumbest possible way ever. So yeah. It's been about a day since the Riley Sager fiasco, where I decided that I literally hated nothing more than that book. Okay, well that's a little much, maybe. That's not quite true, but I was enraged. I'm over it now, and I'm ready to choose a classic novel to read. Let's look up for beginners, because this is giving me things like The Odyssey, and like that's just not happening. Honestly, I think what we're gonna have to do is I'm literally gonna have to go with my original idea, because I think it's the only classic I'm ever gonna be able to get myself to read, and that's Alice in Wonderland. I'm going to download Alice in Wonderland onto my Kindle, and I'll give it a read. And if I like it, I can buy a really pretty edition of that book, so that's exciting. Let's get started on the classic novels, shall we? Let's do it. I'm so tired, but I'm literally 50% through Alice in Wonderland right now, or whatever. This is not what I thought it was. I mean, it's on me. Like, it's my fault. I did not do my research properly, and this book is not what I thought it was. But basically what that means is that I am a little bit bored. I don't think this is gonna push me into reading any more classics. Basically, I think it's a kid's book. Am I reading the wrong book? Like, does this book come as a kid's book version that's like written after? I don't know. I'm gonna do a little bit of Googling. I will finish it because it's like I have an hour left in this book. Like, it's so short. So I'll finish it just because, and like for the video. It's not like I'm like, yeah, I want to read Alice in Wonderland. Like, this is such a good book. Like, I'm just kind of bored. But it's my fault. Hi, hello. I've just completed reading Alice in Wonderland. Considering how long that book actually is, it took me way too long to read. I think it was supposed to be like 2 hours of reading time, and this has taken me like 5 or 6 days because I was genuinely extremely uninterested and I had to force myself to read it. So I think that already tells you what I thought of it. But honestly, like I said before, it's just not fair. Like, I didn't do my research properly. This was never gonna be a book that I enjoyed. I really can't say much about it. It's my fault. I'll come back at you later to tell you all about all the books, and then we'll rate them all, and then I'll say goodbye to you. Alrighty, hello. I just washed my hair. That's why it's all floofy like this. It should not change my opinion of the books, so it doesn't really matter. Let's discuss 3 books that I read, what I thought, and what I'm gonna rate them. Okay, let's start with the first one. I decided to read, what was it? The Memoir by Fern Brady, Strong Female Character. Let's discuss. I really liked this book. I think I already mainly explained why and stuff. I think originally I was actually considering giving it 5 stars because I did really, really enjoy it, but it's been about a week and a half, 2 weeks now, and it's not really been like popping back into my mind. very often, and for that reason I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars, because 5 stars, like I genuinely think about those books like every day. Like, this was a good first starter, good taster, really enjoyed it. Gonna give it 4.5 stars. And I do plan on reading more nonfiction, because this is a memoir obviously, but in the category of nonfiction there's also like so many other things. And then moving on to the second book, which was The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I think I've already decently expressed how I feel about this book. I clearly was unhappy, and now the thing is, how do I rate this? Because I'm conflicted, because I rate my books based off enjoyment, obviously. Half of this book I thoroughly enjoyed. The other half, I was like, what is going on and why am I reading this and what is even the point? I don't want to rate it super low, because I don't necessarily think it was a bad book, but I don't want to rate it high either. I hate how it ended, and I hate what the author decided to do, and I think it was a cop-out and lame and stupid, and I hate it. Like I have previously mentioned, I will not go into it again. I'm like kind of on the fence between giving it 2 stars and 3 stars. So for that reason, I think I'm going to give it a 2.5. I'm not writing off mystery thrillers, I'm just writing off this specific one. I'm gonna give it 2.5, which is not a good rating, and I'm very disappointed. And then the last book that I read was Alice in Wonderland, and I have decided that I'm not gonna rate this book, because I can't rate it fairly. This book did not stand a chance. Like, I don't like reading kids books, and I have no idea how to like decide if it was a good one of those. Like, I don't know anything about it, and I'm not interested in it. I should have picked a different classic to read. Alice in Wonderland is not getting a rating, and I will try to read a different classic, and I will do my research better, and I'll get back to you. So maybe I'll do a part 2 to this video with more genres, and then maybe I'll re-include the classic genre and give it another chance. And I think that's basically it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, then like and subscribe, and then maybe I'll see you for part 2, or just for my next video if you're interested. Maybe read some books out of your comfort zone as well. You never know what you're gonna find.